It was Tucson's introduction to Bro's patented mayhem. Russell's pups turfed the first three competitors in the final round. This left the fans wondering what's going on. Now at this point, Bulls 3, Cowboys zip, 0, nada. Enter Scott Mendez, center stage, just back from an extended stay at a mama's boys picnic. He's there to face the challenge of going for Bro's $10,000 carrot on Guidry's Diamond Dandy. Now, as Diamond Dandy spun and twisted, you can see Scott countered every move with a picture-perfect gem of a ride for 94 points. A high five topped it off. Hang on, everybody. It's bull riding crunch time. It's the Wrangler Bull Riders Only Series, brought to you by Original Coors Beer. And by Roper Apparel, the greatest looking shirts you'll ever wear. Hello, everyone, from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. It's Bull Riders Only. We're halfway in the season, and we've seen a lot of new names on the top of the leaderboard. We have one guy at the top of the leaderboard, J.C. Sanders. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue to successfully chase his Triple Crown. Well, I think Shaw Sullivan, the destiny of any of these guys, may be with these Bulls today.
Well, absolutely. You know, the T-Dome has a tremendous amount of atmosphere, and that atmosphere is always played to the Bulls. And if we take a look at the list of the Bulls in the final round, the two top characters have got to be K9 Dogface and 19 Grasshopper. First of all, Grasshopper, last time he was ridden, was right here in the T-Dome. He was ridden by Jerome Davis for 84 points. Should have been a 90-point ride, except Jerome got a little bit upside down for quite a while. Couldn't even get out of there and ended up winning second to Dax Lackey. Dogface, undefeated. Electric Bull, this is an electric building. Bulls have been winning all year. I think they're going to have a tough time reversing the trend here, the Cowboys and the T-Dome.
I think you're right, and of course that's an awful big factor. You know, Gary LeFew, we're always talking to you about the Bulls because you've studied them for all of your life, but you've also studied these jockeys. What do you think about the matchups you're seeing today?
Well, we got Terry Don West back, and he's feeling pretty good. He's coming off an injury, and he missed Tucson, but he said he's ready for him today. Chavez, he's hungry for another win. Sanders, I think he's hurting a little bit. He's going to be riding in an Aircast today, so he's maybe 60%, but he's got a ride here because this is one of the qualification rounds for the $1 million, and I think he wants that $1 million.
Hey, you talk about $1 million. That's exactly what we're talking about this year. We talked about the leaderboard a few moments ago. Let's look at the top five, and there is JC. That's the man we were talking about. John is in there. J.C. Woodard is on the scene. Scott Mendez, he's coming here off of an awful big win. Stay with us. We'll be right back with action right after this. Welcome back to Bull Riders Only. We're in Tacoma, Washington. Now, at the end of round one, we look at some of the highlights, some of the guys that are going to be coming back in round two. Chad Brennan turned in a great bull ride. I mean, a big stout bull that got a little flat on him, but he came up with an awful good score, puts him in there very, very solid. We were talking about 80-point rides all over the place. That's a good 83 score you're seeing right there. Earlier, we talked about a guy by the name of Rainbow who comes from Oklahoma. Tommy is a tough kid, and he does ride. This is a bad cat. Look at the horns on that bull. I love that exit, and I know he had that planned for you. Cody Hart's a youngster, and he comes from Gainesville, Texas. He's one of two brothers, and he is in this thing strong. Again, we're right back in the 80s. We take a look at the original Coors scoreboard. We're talking about the people that are coming back strong. Here, Fred Betcher makes the cut. Chad Brennan, we just saw him. Cody Hart is on the list. Thurston is in there. Mark Ward, there's a young man from Nebraska. Ronnie Whitfield, Irvin Williams is on the scene. Now, you know they joined the people that were already seated. We're looking at some of the top of the leaderboard for the entire year with Chavez, Duart, Lackey, Mendez. Sanders, as a matter of fact, at the top of the leaderboard. Tony Stoddard has been riding well. And then there's Terry Don West. They're all going to be on the scene. Well, it's going to be a tough pin of bulls. And as we see, it's going to be an awful tough pin of cowboys as well. Here's a couple of guys that'll have to do something about it. Mark Holt, Rule, and also the bullfighters. It is Ketchum and Yates. Now, Charlie's Choice is interesting. We talked to him earlier. Let's see what Charlie has to say.
Sampson here with Charlie's Choice. My choice is Terry Don West. The guy has the best riding percentage on the Bull Riders Only Tour. My second choice, Scott Mendez, coming off a great win, Tucson, Arizona. My choice for the bull be Dogface, K9, 13-0 on the Bull Riders Only Tour. The guy's going to win this event. He want to get on a bull like that.
Charlie, you didn't go out on a limb. I'll tell you that. That's a pretty safe bet. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break with more Bull Riders Only. Welcome back, everyone, as we look at the upcoming schedule. Salt Lake City, Utah, the Delta Center. Utah's favorite cowboy, J.C. Sanders. He takes a shot at $1 million August 26th. I'll tell you what, take a plane, train, boat, take a car if you have to, but whatever you do, don't miss this one. Dax Lackey, he's a defending champion of our doubleheader a year ago now. Lackey is a tough bull rider. Do you know that this guy has a degree in criminal justice? He does. That's off-duty part of this thing. Here we go.
Well, this is a good little bull, and Dax has been kind of on a hot streak. You know, he won this event here last year. He also won our Rapid City show. Been riding real good. He got really lucky in Rapid City that he didn't get killed. That bull stepped on him. He had his vest on, and I think he saved his life.
No doubt about it. And these have saved a bunch of lives, because we lost a lot of bull riders last year, and anyone's crazy if they don't have one on. Nice bull ride here. That Dax there's just some places that you ride good, and it seems like Dax just comes alive in the Tacoma Dome.
And a 77 score. He started it right.
Now, though we rode quite a few of the bulls in the first round, here you're going to have to come a ride.
Red Betts is doing exactly that. Cricket of the Dan Russell firm as the bullies all. Are we going to ride 2 in a row? Uh-oh. Maybe a little too soon.
That old bull was getting a little heavy right there. I'm not sure he made it. It's going to be up to the judges there, but that bull, he was riding a little flat on his butt there. You really got to get up on your legs on that type of bull, because he's getting stronger as the whistle gets closer towards the whistle there.
So it's a freehand rule. It's a no-score deal. No score. Let's go now to the number 3 man on the tour. This is Johnny Chavez, and he comes from New Mexico. This is a bull called Grumpy. I understand that this bull was really hot in Tucson.
Well, this is a bull right here that Johnny absolutely wanted to get on. Grumpy of Russell's. Bull's ridden all 4 out of 7 trips that he's been out. They usually score in the 70s, high 70s on this bull. So, you know, he's ridden most of the time that they buck the bull. He's liking this bull. He's liking this draw. And when Johnny Chavez likes what he's getting on, you just don't get him on the ground.
Although him and this bull have met before, and the bull won the last time out. So Johnny is looking forward to getting even with him, because he told me today before the show, I want to even up the score on this little route. He got out from under me last year before I really knew what he was. Now I know his game plan. I know what to look for, and I'll be ready for him today.
You know, guys, we were showing the fans on the screen a moment ago the tough record this kid's got going. 7 out of 10. On these kind of bulls, that's a pretty good average.
Well, Johnny rides real good. Usually when he gets bucked off, it's something kind of freaky. We saw him at Tucson the other day, and he got bucked off really fast right out of there. But, you know, if you don't get some trick on him right out of the gate, you ain't likely to get him thrown off, period.
Here comes that little rascal. He's in there. He's in there. He's going to be a bunch on him. Man.
Well, he's putting that arm up in the air and hoping for a little positive karma coming his way.
He's hoping those judges stop that watch.
You know, it's just like one of those calls. You just got to have that optimistic attitude and kind of pump your arm in the air like, you know, went your way, the call.
Guys, he made it. It went his way.
Oh, this Grumpy is a handful right here. He just, every time I see him, he gets a little tougher to ride. That was a great bull ride.
Photo finish, 84 points. I love it. Nice. Boy, this kid, did he turn it on in round 1? This youngster from Gainesville, Texas. Now look at his record. He's about a 50%er right now. Had only 5 grand won so far this year on the tour. Cody Hart is the man that we're looking at here. Justin of the Western Rodeo Company. This kid's going to ride him and move on.
This bull a little ill timing right here for old Cody. He likes to open up on them good timing bulls, but he's got to keep them feet a little closer on this type, because that bull's got too much hop, skip, and move on him.
Gary, you're going to have to hand it to that youngster, though, to change his game plan on the bull like that. He had to move away from his plan. 69 certainly was not the score that he had in his game plan.
That was an unusual trip for that bull. You know, we've seen that bull buck out 10 trips, and they usually score 85 points on him, bucks most guys off. That was just a bad day for the bull.
Yeah, bull just didn't act like he felt good today.
You know, we were talking about the schedule. We talked about the upcoming event at Salt Lake City, Utah. But we'll be at San Francisco early in August. That'll be a second trip there for the year. You look on the screen, see the schedule, the spot that is closest to you. Find out about a little more details of the ticket situation with the 800 number you see there. 536-2855. Call that and you can find out exactly what you need to know. That's the tour right there. We're going to Terry Don West. Now here's a man that has won over 100,000 bull riders only. Playmate is the bull. This guy has ridden 36 or 50 in his career. Here we go. Maybe 37, huh? No.
Come on, Terry. Oh, he can get out of position and back in position as good as anyone in the business.
Oh, I tell you, can he think on his feet?
Notice when he gets run back, gets leaned back, notice how he running the knees up even higher. Kind of runs those knees up. I mean, this guy, as Gary's mentioned, has an incredible ability when he gets out of shape to find some contortion of his body that'll save him.
I wonder if I'm going to date myself if I say it's an old Freckles Brown move. 78 is the score. 78. Boy, look at him hustle. Look at him hustle.
I think you're right, Hadley. It is a lot like Freckles Brown because he was, old Freckles used to ride them knees up a little bit behind the bulls, always catching up. You know, you rode that loose rope, was always hustling and moving.
Well, not a bad guy to emulate in this situation. A 78 is going to get him another ride. Terry Don's been on quite a hot streak. You know, he's won one of the events so far this year, and he may not be riding a big as percentage as he'd like to be riding. But, you know, he's gotten on some bulls that have been really ranked so far this year in the early going. Go next here to Myron Duart, the National Circuit Finals champion.
Indian Outlaws this bull. Myron only knew that he was a little spotted. Well, I had asked him about him. He didn't know him.
Well, I'll tell you what, this bull right here, I'm going to give him an E for effort just getting on this bull. This bull's covered with a lot of what they call cowboy guacamole here. I don't know if there been another bull there that developed a case of diarrhea, what the situation is, but...
Oh, Panioli going to work early here.
Hey, now, is this going to be a different deal than it was a year ago when we were talking about trying to get people back in the top 10 for round 3? We are filling it up fast now.
Well, that was a fairly easy day to ride that bull right there comparatively. That bull sometimes pretty difficult to ride. He knocks an 81 down, and that's going to be enough to get him another one.
And a good score of 81 points. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back right after this message. Welcome back, everyone, to Bull Riders Only in Tacoma, Washington. The Featherlight fact. Do you know that 4 riders have scored almost half the 90-point rides that we've seen in Bull Riders Only? The history shows it like this. Terry Don West has 8, including 2 this year. Mark Kane has 7. Clint Bronger has 5, and Tuff Edelman has 4. 53 events of Bull Riders Only. There have been 59 scores of 90 or better. That's the Featherlight fact. We're in round 2. We are in round 2, and Shane Thurston is the next gunner out. Thurston is a man that comes from Colorado. Katie Didd is the bull. He's going to need to be in the 70s the way it looks now, guys.
Well, 259, Katie Didd of Russell's. That bull, they ride him about half the time, and when they ride him for about 77 points. Mendez barely rode this bull in Tucson. After spurring him, he's a good spinner, usually right there to the left, and here he goes.
Uh-oh. Boy, when you see that daylight start coming between that rope and the rider's waist there, you know they're getting in trouble.
Do you think he was riding to spin a little more than he was riding the front end there, Gary?
It looks like he's dropping down in there a little too far, and that has a tendency to take weight off your outside leg and want to run you back.
You know, he was looking so good when the bull came around. Not looking so good right now. That's where it's starting to come apart. Man.
Another thing we find that causes them to get run back, when they get to lifting on that rope too much, it sets you down, and when you get set down, you slide back. You want to kind of keep moving up and pushing on your hand as you move forward. That stands you up on them legs and stops that sliding action from sliding, going to the back end, what we call the power end of the bull.
This is Ronnie Whitfield here on a bull called Chino. Now, this man came in strong in round number 1. He had an 81 score, but if you joined us for the first time, I inform you that we throw it all out at the end of each level. Each round level, we kick it out, pay money, but we throw the scores away, and you have to do it all over.
Chino, we've only seen him a couple of times. Both times he was unridden in Bull Riders Only, so we need somebody here to scar up his record a little bit. Looks like Ronnie Whitfield's in a good position to do that today.
Yes, sir. Whitfield's got that champion in his blood. His cousin's a champion in the calf roping, and this kid has got the ability to be a champion in the bull ride.
He really rides. You know, when that bull came around, and if we do see that back, kind of a shift, kind of a little shift, he got soft for a moment there and kind of drug it. That has to be hard to handle.
Well, I think this ground's got a lot of clay in, and it's a little bit wet. They had a hard time drying it out here. And some of these bulls are having a tendency to slip a little bit when they come around, and which is sometimes it's the advantage of the riders, and sometimes it's a disadvantage, depending on how they do it.
Well, 75 score should advance Ronnie. I say should. We have some more to go, and we have some big guns out already. You look at the scoring right now, Chavez with an 84, Duart with an 81, a 78 is in there by Terry Don West. Those guys are essentially come back. Tommy Rainbow's out of Oklahoma. This is the bull called Little Man. This ought to be a good match.
Well, we've seen this bull a lot of times. He's been out about 11 trips here. His record is 9-2. And only 2 guys got the whistle on him. This is one of the bulls that Gilbert Carrillo rode at Bull Riders Only Finals. And probably more than a guy wants in this round when they generally only ride about 7. You know, you want something you can just get by. But the way they've been riding bulls here, you know, it's all up to you. You make the whistle in this round, and you're most likely going to get another one. So
I would imagine that Cody Hart's hoping that right now as he's sitting on a 69 right now.
I bet he is. Well, you always rather have more than you need than less than you need.
Oh, woo! Man, he makes short work of him.
Boy, that is a bad cat.
He don't have to feel bad. We've seen some of the best in the business land in the same spot on that little bull. He has got a wicked little move out of there.
I'm telling you, there's no question why he's got the record that he does.
A lot of times when you see a bull come out here like this and he gets whipped out over the front of the bull, when he slaps this bull right there, it takes you out of your game plan. Kind of snaps you back to consciousness, and everyone knows you're a better bull rider when you're unconscious.
I've seen Danny Wolf and Marty Standard land in the same spot, and that's some pretty good company.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting when a bull does that to you.
Well, as we look at this right here,
Mark Ward's the man.
Mark Ward.
He is the man. All right, Mark. This is the bull, Sammy. Well, that bull's got a lot of drops.
Nice timing that bull there. Looks like a big old bronc, doesn't he?
He did. He looked like he'd go real good for the saddle bronc ride, and that looks like the second guy of our qualifiers to make the whistle. We've had all of our seeded guys make the whistle so far, but that's only the second out of 5 of our qualifiers to make the whistle.
And a 71 score, well, you never know. It could fall short. Right now, this round 3 is really building strong. Jimmy Young will be the next man out. Jimmy Young comes from Flatfoot, Idaho, so he's from this part of the country. Whizbang is the bull he's on. This is the first time they've had this bull on the tour.
Well, you know, if he's starting off, first time for the bull on the tour, but he's starting off in the second round rather than the first round, you know, somebody's pretty high on him.
Yeah, that kind of tells you something, doesn't it?
Well, you know, a lot of times these bulls are getting bucked in a lot of other places. Just because we haven't seen him here at Bull Riders Only doesn't mean that they don't have some experience on him.
Woo, nice bull. Boy, Jimmy Young is really looking good. For a big old tall kid, this kid has really got nice timing, great form, sits up straight the way you're supposed to ride bulls.
That bull's ideal for his kind of style, too. Gets up real high in the front end, and when a taller guy gets out over him, when they get so high in the front end, he's got a lot more weight to kind of counterbalance what that bull's putting on him in terms of action.
Oh, right you are, Shaw.
That's because I learned from the guru.
We have an 81 score. I mean, we are building a round for our finals that is amazing. Look at this.
Watch how high this bull's coming up with his front end. You know, he's kicking pretty good, but he takes a pretty good leap right there. And Jimmy, when he gets out over him, boy, he's posting up just the way you're supposed to. Right there, big jump.
You know, I get a lot of kids come to school and they say, am I too tall to ride bulls? And I point out these guys like Jimmy Young and Lake Stevenson from Texas, and I say, no one's told those guys are too tall to ride. They just keep hitting the road and they keep winning money.
This is Chad Redden. On the Bull Redhead, Big Ben Company owns this Longhorn.
Bull's record's 4-3, about 50-50, and he didn't get the horn here. He'd be a 50-50.
It was a photo finish. It was a photo finish for Brennan. Well, we'll check his score and report in when we come back. We'll be back right after this break. So whatever you do, stay with us. 72 as we go. Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we'll be coming back to San Francisco at the Cow Palace, Northern California. The famous Cow Palace, August 4th and 5th. Now, you remember the Cow Palace was sold out in March, so you don't want to miss this one. You can call Bass 1-510-762-2277. BRO at Baghdad by the Bay. It'll be 2 days of great action at the Cow Palace.
Not only that, Hadley, but we are going to have a dance at the Cow Palace right after the bull riding. They bucked that last bull. We're going to go bucking balls.
Oh, Irvin Williams says, I'll be there. I'll be there. That bull jumps out of it, comes right back for now. Irvin Williams is not wasting any of his bull riding talents, is he? When that horn blows, he's gone.
He was out of there. I just hope he wasn't out of there too quick. It was pretty close.
Well, they're going to go ahead and mark him here, but yeah, you're right. At the very end there, it looked like he kind of got set back just a little bit and jerked the rope out of his hand, but it looks again like he's setting up a lot better than
I was going to say he's getting over that front end a lot better than I've seen him in a long time. He could be tough here today if he keeps doing that.
I think he heard the horn and let go. 83 points. He's in there. He's a cinch. Now, look at the leaderboard. Chavez still out in front with that 84. Williams has moved in behind him with an 83. Then the 81 by Jimmy Young. This is a tough round. Todd Steinbach wants a piece of the action.
Well, we've got 10 qualified rides now, so we've got enough to take us to the final round, and that's a nice thing to see. This is the first time so far, actually the second time this year, that we've filled all 10 positions going into the final round. When you got guys left like J.C. Sanders and Scotty Mendez, J.C. Woodward, and Tony Stoddard, Todd Steinbach, that 69 of Cody Hart's ain't looking real good right now, is it?
He may be gone. Mark Ward may be traveling with him, too.
I think you got a better chance of hitting a lotto.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, looking ahead to that championship round, and it is going to be something. What a pen of bulls. We talked about it a little at the top of the show. Right now, Steinbach wants to get by with Wango Tango. Good man owns this bull.
Boy, look at the veins popping out on his forearm.
Well, this is a bull named after a song by the great white hunter Ted Nugent. So there's a radical wild guy. So let's see what the bull does.
He's going to be a little late there, Toddley.
Okay, no score for Todd. Talk about a great crowd, and I mean the energy has been high here in the Tacoma Dome. They love bull riders only. J.C. Sanders leads the tour.
This guy's riding with a cast on his leg. He has a broken tibia and a broken ankle, and he's got an air cast on there and came here to ride, so he remains in the hunt for the $1 million Triple Crown.
Well, this is one of the mandatory stops on that tour. This guy inching a little bit closer to it.
Here's one of those instances, Gary, where I don't think you want to get off on your feet, do you? If you're wearing a cast because you've got a broken tibia and a broken ankle, I believe that I'd want to land on my head.
Well, Walt Garrison used to say, if you land on your head, you'll never break a leg. I agree with you.
75 is the score for Sanders. He's very much alive.
What a lot of heart that kid has. A young bull rider, already won 2 events at the Bull Riders Only Series, still in the hunt for the $1 million Triple Crown. Comes, he gets on with a broken leg, and there's no sign of weakness in that kid, is there?
No, sir. He's a competitor all the way. And I hope he wins that million.
There's a look at Dennis Humphrey, and he is serious about this shoot bus business, but he knows how it is on both sides of the gate. I can tell you that. Scott Mendez, boy, is this guy on a roll. Would he like to back him, huh? He won it at Tucson not long ago, the last stop.
This kid won a bunch of money in Livermore, California, won a bunch of money in the first round of Reno, won Tucson. He's just been a money pig all over the place. Grand Junction the other day. Scotty's on quite the bull riding roll, and I tell you what, he's excited about Helter Skelter, this bull. Last time we saw him ridden, Grey Goals rode this bull in Tacoma for the win.
Well, Scotty is, when the weather heats up, Scotty warms up. He is on the roll and riding good, and I don't think this bull's got a chance in hell throwing him off. Oh, go on, Scotty!
He got him in the end of his arm late in that ride, didn't he?
Now, he did something there at the end that is a mark of somebody with a lot of experience and professionalism. When that whistle blew, he was a little bit out of shape. Rather than check out right there, he hustled back to his rope so that when he got off, he'd be in control. That's a way to save yourself from getting injured.
Mendez is going to be 72. I don't know if that'll be enough. We'll see. Now let's take a look at Tony Stoddard. Tony is, boy, this guy's been riding tougher this year than any time since I've seen him. I like the momentum he's got. Teddy bears.
This bull ridden 50% of the time, usually in the upper 70s, and right now Scotty Mendez is 72, is on the bubble.
Woo, big old heavy bull right here. Going to get over that front end, stay out there between them horns. They're going to get some power to you.
Okay, guys, I want to hear it. Is he gonna knock Scotty out? What do you think?
I don't know. It's going to be close, but I think he might have. I think that might have been enough to move the 72 out of it.
How about a 68?
Well, there you go.
All right, 68. He will not make the cut. J.C. Woodard is going to have to ride up. We've been talking about the leaderboard. You can see it right there. 84 at the top. On the bubble, number 10 spot is Scotty Mendez. J.C. Woodard to make the difference. Right?
This kid rides with the block on the opposite side of the rope. It's kind of a strange situation, but he said when he rode with a regular rope, he got hung up all the time. And ever since he switched to this method, he hasn't been hung up. Kind of a variation on the theme of Adriano Moraes and him pulling his rope completely backwards.
But I'm surprised that he doesn't pinch his hand. I'm surprised he doesn't break bone in his hand.
It's a strange deal, but, you know, we've been seeing some of that stuff. You know, as the sport progresses, we see people doing things a little bit differently, and as we see that works, we see a lot of other people copying it in one form or another. JC is the only man left. He needs 72 or higher to get him into that next round.
And he is tough to get on the ground, this kid. Woo! Uh-oh. Oh, he did it. Ouch.
So he is hot out over the corner of that bow. It does not work. Woodard is going to take a no score. Well, whatever you do, stay with us. We're going to be right back with the championship round right after we break for this word. Welcome back, everyone, as we go to round 3, the championship round. We'll be talking about the original Coors scoreboard, which will be the top 10 coming back. We look at it quickly before we begin this round. And what a matchup. Look at the bulls. Look at those jockeys. This is going to be good. Mendez has Dogface. Lackey has Grasshopper. We'll show you a couple of rematches that may be, they may be productive. Sanders, you see, has Skull Time. He won the Casper event on him. It's going to be good. Speaking
19th Grasshopper.
What do you think about this, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, this bull, you know, bull of the year, bucking son of a gun, and boy, he had a heck of a trip last time we saw him out in Tucson. Dax is going to really have to get his hammer cocked to get by Grasshopper.
Hey, guys, they rode this bull, however, when we were in Tacoma the last time, so it can happen. We know it can happen.
Well, he was only ridden one time for us. It's 13-1, and it was an 84 score.
Oh, man. Boy, that bull runs him to the back end. I don't know how, but he does it. Makes it look easy, doesn't he? He just slides him back there and then just slam dunks him.
You'd have thought that the ground conditions were ideal for him to have ridden this bull here, but boy, he does it. He runs them all back off.
We're going to go now with the bull called Butterfly, and Chad Brennan is the jockey. That's the next match.
Well, this bull right here has just graduated into the final round of Bull Riders Only competition after bucking 5 guys off in a row. So
he looks like a good one to ride, and old Chad's got him started good today, but he's running awfully far back off that rope and that's in what we call the power zone.
Well,
May have hung in there and got a whistle.
I think he did, and that looked awful close and similar to what we saw last year when Jerome Davis rode 19 Grasshopper. He got hanging off to the side, he got away from his hand, kind of got that knee, ran into that hand, and even though he's way off to the side, you can't really even get up in a situation like that. You're kind of locked in there.
I think Brannon's hurting a little bit, too. He did make the whistle. 81 is the score. He's the man to beat now.
Without knowing whether this bull stepped on him or not, I know when you get to hanging off the side like that, your spur gets caught in the rope. That's an awful strain on your groin muscle.
No doubt about it, but no more than they ride in this short round. That might have been a good decision. Worth a little pain to get some money.
Man, oh man. That's a tough way to go. Well, Jimmy Young, Idaho man, he's up next. Spinner is the name of this bull, and you can see the Western Rodeo Company owns him.
Well, this bull's been out 9 trips. He's 7-2. Stock contractor Dan Russell has a tremendous amount of respect for this animal. Bull riders don't like him at all.
Oh,
he hooks a lot.
He is mean. Woo! You don't want to make a mistake on this little spin son, Buck. He will eat your lunch. Watch him come around here. He's going to get on him like a crab. Oh! Boy, that bull rider he was there just right, wasn't he?
Now, he looked like a house pet there. That bull didn't look mean at all.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, thanks to Hollywood Don Yates. He got in there and made a great save.
All right, how about a mother-in-law house pet?
Jimmy Young, he is disgusted. No score. This is Johnny Chavez pulling that rope up tight. Mo Money is the bull. Big Bend Rodeo Company owns him. We have one score out in front. Brennan with an 81.
Johnny Chavez came here. He said, man, I want the money, and that's what he's getting on Mo Money. He won the second round of the competition. Terry Don West rode this bull in San Francisco for 90 points and the win. Johnny Chavez has already got 1 win this season. This looks like a good matchup.
Oh! Holy mackerel, not that way.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's in trouble. I don't know if he's knocked out. I think he's out, yeah.
He's out cold.
That bull smacked him right in the face. Boy, get him out of there.
Oh, man.
That was a wreck.
Well, I believe it knocked him out when he whooped him down, don't you? I mean, he hit him several times in the head, but boy, you're like a rag doll anyways when you're hung up like that, but what makes it worse is if you're unconscious, you're absolutely not doing anything to improve your situation.
Let's see if we can see where he got him. I've never seen this bull pull a more wicked move. Look at that roll he pulled on him.
Boom,
I
right
think
there.
that head's right there. He's out from that point on.
You know, I think it goes to that ground you were talking about.
Yeah.
Looked to me like that bull slipped a little bit.
He may have really changed the pace. But you know, it's going to take just a little time to find out if John is okay. We'll be back with a little more information concerning his condition, and we hope it'll be all right. Stay with us. I think he's up. I think he's up. Yes, he is up. They're walking him out now. Oh, man, he's a little bit out of it. Well, don't you be out of it. Just stay with us, if you will. We'll be right back with more of this exciting round 3. Well, this is round 3. This is J.C. Sanders. Goal time. It's a rematch. Is he going to do it?
I think he's going to get by him here. Scroll Time's not having near the trip that he had with him before, but this bull, they've won a lot of money on this animal. They won an event here in Tacoma on him. J.C. won Casper on him, and they won San Jose on this bull last year. Buddy Reed did, so let's hope for the score here and see what happens.
I think that Sanders took your advice about not landing on that hike.
I noticed that. He jumped right off on his butt there, didn't he?
87. He is in the lead. Is history going to repeat itself? It could.
Boy, this kid rides good, doesn't he?
This bull starts out really strong here in the first 3-4 jumps, and then he just, I think, decides that maybe that ground ain't solid enough for him to want to do his normal trip, kind of jumps out of it, but still 87 points puts him to the lead.
It really didn't make him any easier to ride. Actually, probably a little harder to ride because he kept jumping away from him. You really had to put some good moves on that bull to stay with him.
I'll tell you what, that JC, as you said, he rides real good, and it'd be a pleasure to give that kid $1 million.
Okay, Erwin Williams taking a run at it. Oh, this is a tough round. 87 for Sanders. He's out in front. This is a bull called Bobby.
Bobby, another bull we've seen. Sanders won Long Beach, first leg of the Triple Crown on this bull, so he's a handful. And too much for Irvin today.
Yeah, and kind of a weird timing there with that bull. The way he come up off that ground, it's something about this ground today is causing some of these bulls to either stick in it or slip just slightly. and it's throwing a lot of these bull riders timing off, where Irvin gets caught run way back, whipped out of there, that it just no sync there.
Well, Gary, after you talked about it, I went out there and kind of checked it around, kicked it around a little bit. Really spongy. It's wet. It apparently had been raining here for some time, and that's no surprise here in Tacoma, Washington, but the ground is spongy, and it's causing them some problems.
We were talking about this winding up the first half of the season. You see on the screen that we'll be going to San Francisco. That's a 2-day event, 4th and 5th. That's in the Cow Palace. Salt Lake City, J.C. Sanders can't wait to get there. You know that Anaheim's always a great stop. St. Paul, Minnesota, Wichita, Kansas, Greensboro, North Carolina. And then, of course, the finals. Later on in the fall at Denver. That's the way it'll look. This is Ronnie Whitfield. Whitfield has his work cut out for him. This is a bull called Tic-Tac-Toe. All right.
Well, Ronnie coming in from the first round all the way here to the third round. We know at least he's warmed up. He's already been on 2 bulls already, and Tic-Tac-Toe as a bull is also just graduated to this final round. He's a bull who's only been out 1 trip here and was undefeated so far, but they must have been pretty high on him moving into this one.
Well, this bull comes from the same place that El Wapo did, a guy named Brian Starkey up north of the border, a guy that really should have been born 100 years ago. He's one of the real true characters of rodeo. I stay with him every year and have a rodeo school with him up there, and he really produces a lot of great bulls. Great hunter, a great trapper. Just a great guy.
Well, we're looking at $10,000. That's what he's trying to win, and he'll have to best an 87 score right now to move into the lead. 4 of our top 10 will share in the prize money. 20 grand. 20 grand.
Oh, Ronnie, that ain't going to work.
Well, he looked like he was looking out of there when that bull first turned back.
He did. He just, the right is Ronnie Whitfield's direction. He told me today he likes to go around John Groundy because most of his bulls go to the right. He doesn't like the left as good. It's kind of his weak direction. So, unfortunately, this bull went away from his hand, and he doesn't like it.
Whitfield's out of there. It's going to be no score. We'll be back with more of round 3 right after this. While we're here in round 3 at Tacoma, Washington, we look ahead to our schedule, August 4th and 5th. That's going to be 2 big days at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Get your tickets early because if you remember, it was sold out in March earlier this year. It'd be a good idea to jot that number down, if you will. And, Gary, you're going to have some fun there, too, aren't you?
Yes, sir. We're going to have a big dance. It was a young crowd of enthusiastic, fun-loving people there last year. And join us and the Cowboys and everybody to go right across the hall right after the last bull is bucked, and we're going to get down with one of the hottest bands in the Bay Area.
Does that sound like good times? It does to me. Let's go to Myron Duart. Round 3 here at Tacoma. Boy, this is tough going. This is an all-star bull, Shaw. This is a ranked bull, isn't he?
Bear Swalwilla, named after a raging river up here in the Northland. Myron Duart's got his hands full. You know, the judges didn't like this bull so much. The only time he was ridden, they marked him 77, but he's been ranked, hasn't he, Gary?
Oh, man, and in this ground, as spongy as this ground is, there's no telling what he's going to do out here. Anything's liable to happen tonight, and it's liable to with this Bear Swalwilla.
Well, we never won Tacoma with a 90-point ride. The highest we've ever marked here was 88 points. We got an 87 win in it right now with J.C. Sanders, who might get his 3rd win here.
He sure could. But this little Hawaiian here, he's got different things on his mind. Come on there, Paniole!
Oh, yeah, he's got him knocked out.
Oh.
I'll tell you, that bull, came right around into his hand. There never seemed to be a doubt, did there?
They're going to mark that ride a heck of a sight higher than 77. I think that might have gotten it right there.
I believe that's going to be the leaderboard.
You're there. You hit it, Shaw. There's that 90-point ride we were looking for. 90 on the nose.
Well, I'm going over to his old homeland in Hawaii next week, and I'll be see Raymond Noe, his sponsor.
Well, this bull right here, he's getting a good jump and kick, good spin right there. Boy, it really evened him out. You know, he's had some wallers in him before, but boy, this time he was right there. Good timing.
Hey, guys, talk about this now. Now, you talk about a challenge for Terry Don West, Scott Mendes yet to go. Can they knock out another 90-point ride? That's what they're going to have to do to win this thing.
Well, you know, we've had a lot of events where they've had a lot of 90 points. We go back to Tampa, Florida a couple years ago. A 90-point ride didn't even place. You can get more than 90. Sometimes it's infectious. But I know this. We got 2 bull riders left, and we're not going to have 5 or 6 90s, but we might very well have another.
That man that you're looking at right there has won over $100,000 on this tour. Trust Breaker, I have never heard of this bull before, but the way they named him, if that's any indication, he must be big and strong.
Yeah, they say this bull's a new bull out of Idaho. He's calling Washington home now. He's strong, he's honest. Not the rankest bull in the pen, but should be a good one for Terry Don. It just remains to be seen whether he's going to be enough bull to crack that 90 or not.
Again, a bull that we've never seen before, period, and he starts and debuts in the 3rd round here. You know, that says that somebody was pretty high on him. And it can either be a situation where the animal is an incredibly gifted animal that we haven't seen before, or somebody did a great sales job.
We're going to find out very shortly. Terry Don West will tell the story. Oh, man. The match is on. The match is on.
Uh-oh. Did you see that move he made to get back? Terry Don amazes me. Amazes me.
I don't understand how he does it. He was almost up on his knees on the back of that bull.
He gets in positions that everybody else hits the ground on, and how he gets back, I do not know.
He looks like he's got that attitude where he don't want to hit the ground no matter what happens again, doesn't he?
It's just that I guess, but he has an unusual style. Right there, he gets into that hand and then just moves back over that front end, back up on his legs, and well, you know, it's a move that Terry Don West kind of owns.
Well, we've seen him before when he gets into his hand, how he leans back, but he doesn't really lean back here. In fact, he sort of does something that you wouldn't think would work. He kind of punches that left arm right back over there and kind of just wallers himself over there, keeping those knees real high again.
You know, we talked about 4 men are going to share in the prize money, the $20,000, and he right now is winning 4th with an 80.5.
All that effort, and it don't look like he's breaking a sweat, does it?
Let's go to Scott Mendez. I can't wait for this one now. Isn't this a rematch for Scotty on Dogface? Has he been on this bull before?
Scotty Mendez got on this bull this year in Ogden, Utah. And boy, I tell you what, he was really looking forward to it. He got an opportunity to shoot at this bull 13-0. The longest unridden streak of any bull in Bull Riders Only history. Scotty almost rode him last time. And rematches, boy, last time we seen a rematch was the last event, Tucson.
Yeah.
Got a rematch there, and what happened? Knocked him out for 94 points and $10,000. You don't want to run the same bull as Scotty Mendez very often, because I think he might be prone to figure him out.
Well, he's an exciting bull to watch. This bull is really exciting. I'll tell you, we're going to bring this excitement to a lot of places yet, because we have a full 1/2 of the 95 schedule, and you're looking at it right there. We mentioned a while ago, 2 big days in San Francisco. You talk about a great event. If you see any of the Bull Rider Only stops in your locale, simply call the number you see at the base of your screen. Find a little bit more out about the ticket information. Oh, I'm telling you, listen to this Coliseum. This is what we're talking about at Bull Riders Only. They're doing the Tacoma Stomp here. They've got waves and whitecaps on the Columbia River.
Boy, if he gets the whistle on Dogface, they're really going to go crazy, because this is an anticipated rematch right here.
You got it.
Spectacular animal, you know, for as heavy as he looks. Boy, this cat has some action, you know what?
He does. I mean, he is exciting to watch. I've seen the bull maybe a dozen times, and he can jump higher and do more things in the air than any bull for his size. As you said, Shaw, I think he's a great athlete himself.
Scotty typifies a lot of these bull riders. He's a kid who's got a lot of high morals and ethics and values. He really believes strongly in good principles. He loves to ride bulls. I mean, that's what he exists for. Runner-up to the World Championship. The kid not only has the kind of skill, obviously, that he has, but he's got great character as well. And it's a pleasure to see people like that.
He really does, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because, you know, he's a role model for a lot of the young people that are watching him right here, and he's not a bad one by any means.
You know, an interesting fact about Scotty, he was diagnosed with manic depression, you know, when he was about 18 years old, which is a genetic disease that Einstein had, some of the great composers. And once he got on the medicine, he was right back in the ball. Uh-oh, not tonight. Woo, that Dogface is a great one.
Oh, is he a great one. Now, did Scotty kind of hang himself out a little to the side himself? Anticipating that? I don't know.
I think so. I think he was trying to maybe cut the corner a little bit, maybe try to get over there. You know, when you got a bull as rank as that animal, who has that kind of a track record, let's face it, when you can buck off the runner-up to the World Championship with PRCA twice like that 1 year, that's a rank bull. 14-0 Dogface. It was a ton of thunderous action here in Tacoma, Washington, and I'm with Myron Duart, the winner. He's got the winner's jacket, got the winner's check, and a winner's smile. You ain't been doing so well recently at Bull Riders Only, and today you lit him up.
Yeah, I think, this early part of the year I was home and there wasn't much rodeos to go to, and me and Scott Mendes, we didn't have too many places to go, and last week we got in rodeoing again, and that just get our motor going, after watching him win one last week and seeing his jacket all week, I just told him I'd get one today, and it worked out.
Well, you got a jacket. Let's take a look at the roper ride of the night and 437 Bear Swalwilla. Tell us what went on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had this bull late last year, and I was trying to make the finals, and I went third on him at OMAC, and today, he kind of had me out there a little bit, and I just figured if I can try to be like Scott and just don't ever give up until my head hit the ground, I probably can be the champ, and it worked out.
This is a pretty good day for that bull, pretty even trip.
Yeah, last year when I had him, he turned back both ways with me, and shoot, I was 80-something on him, and today I had a little bit more trouble with him, but it worked out at the end.
Myron Duart back to Gary and Hadley.
Well, Gary, Myron made his threat sincere today. This was a great bull riding.
Oh, you bet it was a great bull riding, and we got a great one coming up at San Francisco. 2 days, the 4th and 5th, and we're having a big dance Saturday night, so be there and join us.
Hey, it'll be a lot of fun, I'm telling you. We look at the leaderboard. Myron Duart does get the win. Sanders stays strong. Brennan is in there for some of the money. Terry Don West is on the scene as well. Now, for the year, Sanders holds his lead. Terry Don West moves to second. Chavez slipped a notch. Duart comes in fourth. J.C. Woodard is in there. That's the way it looks on the top 5. The Wrangler Bull Riders Only Series has been brought to you by Chevy Truck, our official truck that we drive. By Award Design Medal, the official buckle of the Wrangler Bull Riders Only Series. Shirts provided by Roper Apparel. Next time out, we're going to be back to San Francisco to start the second half of the season. Join us for Wrangler Bull Riders Only, the one that you, the fan, have made the #1 bull riding show in America. For Gary LePew and Shaw Sullivan, this is Hadley Barrett.